Let's see what we got, guys. Welcome back, everyone. Good stuff. Let's show you what we got for today, July 8th. Connecting it up. So we should be back and rolling with the live stream. So let's see what we got. So what's going on, guys? Went about a minute early, so we'll go for about an hour. We got some big stuff going on. How's everybody doing this Sunday, July 8th? That's crazy, July 8th. It'll be here before you know it. Walker, Stalker, and also The Walking Dead. Stuff going around. Comic-Con will be here in, 2 weeks. Crazy stuff, guys. So what's going on? Welcome, everybody joining me today. So what's up, Tudor? What's up, Vicky, Paul Eagle, Andrew, M. King, Liam, and Don, Ali, everybody, what's up, guys? So if you want to do a top chat, live chat, super chat on there is welcome always. We are back on the PT channel here today. It's going on there. What's up, Liam? Oh, happy birthday today if it is your birthday. So we're going to talk about a variety of topics. I'm excited for The Walking Dead Season 9. We're getting more and more and more information. It's coming back in October. It's July 8th. As we make this video, and it's some big news, some rumors, some spoilers, some other news has been going around, and it's been a crazy summer. I said it last live stream, and I'll say it again. It's one crazy summer, really, since season 6 into season 7. We haven't had this crazy of a summer. So much stuff has been going around, rumors, speculation, spoilers, what to make of it. We're going to talk about the banner. We're going to talk about the spoilers. We're going to talk about Comic-Con. So we're going to talk about a bunch of things, guys. So like I said at the beginning, if you're just joining me now, I got an hour to go because then we're going to go see Ant-Man and Wasp. If you've seen it, please don't say anything I haven't seen at all. I'm excited to see it. Last night on HBO, we watched Justice League. And it was okay. I thought it was okay. It's not the Marvel-esque type of thing, Justice League versus, Avengers, totally different. So I'm going to talk about a lot of things here. If you're checking this on the replay, spoiler warning. I don't want to ruin anything for you guys because I don't know what you want to know, and all that good stuff. And I got to say that in every video because I don't know if you watched the previous videos, and I don't want to ruin anything for them, for you, for anyone here. So post your chat questions there. I will definitely talk about the questions and answer them for you guys. So I'm excited for The Walking Dead Season 9. No release date as of yet, but I'm thinking that it's going to be October 14th or 21st, whatever they want to do, around the time when Fear the Walking Dead comes back, August 12th. So are they going to have a break? Is it going to go right into it? Is it going to connect there as well? So I would assume it's going to be October 14th or 21st. But that being said, we got a lot going around for this season. And I know a lot of people are upset about the potential news of Rick Grimes dying, Andrew Lincoln leaving. But I'm excited for the season anyway. We don't know what to make of it. I'm not sure. Great question, Rebecca. Is it 16 episodes? That's the typical season for it. A lot of people are saying it's only going to be the first half. It's only going to be 8 episodes. Then it's going to be 13 episodes. It's going to be 16 episodes. I think it's going to be 16, the standard level issue seasons of it. 16 episodes is plenty. They can do a lot of it. What I do think is going to happen is they're going to expedite a lot of the comic stuff in the first half of the season. If you haven't read the comics, they're in the A New Beginning storyline. So the New Beginning storyline is pretty cool stuff. Pretty interesting how they're going to do it with if Maggie gets killed off, if Rick gets killed off. Is Maggie going to stay now? There's been reports that Rick's going to live and Maggie's going to live and this. And I get a lot of questions and I get a lot of stuff. We just don't know. There's just not confirmed 100% information going around. So I'll talk about that over the hour for sure. But Tudor asked the question, Q&A, thoughts on the core group being again on the road and the DC Sinister area? I'm excited. Yes, I think that we need a core group. Season 7 was like way too many people. We had the Kingdom and the Saviors and Alexandria and Hilltop, and there was just so many people in each group. I think we need to have knock it down a little bit. We lost some people. We gained some people. We're going to gain some people. We're going to lose some people on there as well. So we just got an influx of a bunch of people. Thank you for joining me. Hello, 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 everyone. I'm not trying to not say hello, but I'm just trying to get this going on there too. Thank you all for spending this July 8th with me on talking about The Walking Dead. I'm not sure if it's on yet, but I know today is the Governor. Spend a Sunday with the Governor. That's what today is on AMC. It's Governor-esque episodes. I think that it's pretty cool to see where it was, what it used to be, what it looks like. I think that we'll get a season 9 feel of a season 4 feel. And Angela Kang has said that she wants season 4 and 5 to come around and 9 to feel like seasons 4 and 5. If you watch season 4, I think that we could get a strong Daryl character. Season 4 of Daryl, he was pretty strong. You can see that he was going to the big spot and leading people to get things and leading a group to go get medications. And it's antibiotics and taking Michonne and Bob Stuckey, who's not around, and Tyrese, who wasn't around anymore. But he was definitely a leader-esque character. You could see that. Now, he's changed over the seasons for sure. But if we get season 4 Daryl, I think he can lead. But I know he's not going to be Rick Grimes, and no one's going to replace Rick Grimes. That's just not going to happen. No one's going to replace Carl. That's just not going to happen. But can the show still be entertaining? I think so. I'm excited for season 9. Even with the banner. So let's talk about the banner, the thumbnail that we talked about, that we have for this live stream. It's a simple banner. It's Carol, Michonne, Rick, Maggie in the background somewhat, and then Daryl. Rick looks older. Carol looks older. Maggie, she looks a little older, but her hair looks longer, and she does not have a baby bump. She never had a baby bump, and a lot of people were kind of pissed about that. Daryl looks the same, and Michonne looks the same. Now, Michonne looks nothing really to gain really from Michonne's picture. Rick with the new haircut looks older, definitely looks that way. Maggie, no belly bump, no baby bump, longer hair, time jump, definitely coming. Daryl, he does not have Carol's knife. I get this question every day since the banners come out. Carol has her own knife. It's the one with the brass knuckle grip kind of thing with the blade on it. She has it in her holster, and she has a bag, and Daryl's got a different knife with his crossbow. You see the Capitol building in the back. You see a helicopter in the back. I'm guessing you're seeing birds or something flying out of the Capitol building. And you see DC. So are we going to get more of a DC kind of connection there this season? I think so. I'm thinking it makes sense. I want to see that happen for it too. But so let's see what we got here, guys. So I do think Negan is growing the beard. Yeah. What is this jumper to? I don't know. We're talking about bamboos. Look at the camera. So I'm trying to read the top chat and trying to be on there too. So there you go. Look at the camera. There you go. But what do we got for favorite season? Chaz or Wilco? My favorite season is season 6. I don't know if that's ever going to be topped. I just don't see it ever happening. And if you're starting a YouTube channel of The Walking Dead, talk about what you love what you talk about, have something to talk about, and just, be out there with it. It's tough because there's a lot of competition out there and a lot of people. I think it makes sense that you start a channel that you want to talk about, you like talking about, and just go from there. Do it for fun. That's what you should be first and foremost, and that's what we do here. We have a lot of fun for sure. M. King, are they really filming in DC? No, The Walking Dead films in Georgia. They film in the state of Georgia for everything. They filmed downtown Atlanta at the Capitol building of Georgia, not the Capitol building in DC. So, is it Son of Gones? Love you too. But no, they don't film anywhere but Georgia. There's been reports that they're going to film in Pittsburgh and Ohio and Pennsylvania and DC and Virginia and Florida and this and there. Fear the Walking Dead is in Texas. They filmed there. And The Walking Dead films in Georgia, even though it's supposed to be Virginia. And hopefully you've read the comic. 181 came out on 4th of July. So belated happy 4th of July if you celebrated it. I wasn't on here. Watched some fireworks and had some fun. And Mr. Username is, yes, I miss Shane a little bit. Not entirely all there too. I think Shane would be a great addition to have been coming back at some point. It's a shame that he got killed off. What happened to him is comic connection for it too. So, Jaden McQueen, can you please shout out Ryan and Jaden, please? Yeah, Ryan and Jaden, shout it out. Ryan and Jaden for sure. So, do you think Heath's character was wasted? Great question, Avery. I think so. I think Heath's character was and is going to be wasted about it for sure, because they don't really do anything with the character, and I think they should never have casted Corey Hawkins for that character if he couldn't devote the time with it. What was the point of having a contract with it if he only filmed, I don't know, 4 episodes, if that? And he's a decent character. He's not a big character by any means, but he's a decent character for sure. So, I think he's a wasted character. I think Jesus has been a wasted character from what the character is on the show versus the comic, especially last season. Season 8, he really did nothing to really help the team, the group, anything there, but he could redeem himself this season in Season 9 and going forward, because he is a character that has a lot of facts and abilities to him, and he can do a lot of stuff from the comic to the show in connection with. A lot of people want to see him with Aaron, and that makes sense, and that would be kind of interesting to see. If you read the comics, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, definitely recommend the comics for sure. But I would like to see a lot of things come back around full circle, and I think Season 9 is going to be a flashback connection, going back to Season 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. And all that stuff's going to connect for those things that make sense. So I want to make sure that the comic connection does stay there on the show, but also there are some differences. Some of the best differences on the show have been nothing to do with the comic. Whether you hate him, love him, don't care about him at all, which would be weird, is Daryl Dixon. Daryl Dixon and the Dixon brothers are one of, if not the best thing that has happened for the show that had nothing to do with the comic. I think that is a huge thing that they should have more and more of. You can have a Simon. He's a character just for the show. We'll see what happens with Magna and Yumiko. I think it makes sense for them to be stronger characters. If they want to continue the show on, if Rick dies, then we need to have characters that we care about. And what's the point of having the show continue if we're losing so many characters for it? So, all right, my username is this. Will Rick's death change Negan, do you think? Not sure where you're going with that. Do you think it changes Negan's perspective, or do you think the show is going to change Negan? What do you mean by that? Because to me, I think Rick's death and the character of Negan have nothing to do with each other. If they do, it's a reach. Because Negan, to me, should be killed. And I think that the best thing for Negan is Negan escapes from the jail cell by Anne or a Whisperer or somebody else. He gets away, comes back around with the Whisperer connection or a Savior connection or both, comes around. Daryl doesn't want Negan around, obviously. That should not change. The Negan-Daryl dynamic needs to be where Negan probably wants to play Daryl, and he's kind of that smooth talker, political figure that can kind of sell you, like used car salesman kind of thing, where Negan's going to be like, hey, Daryl, I was just setting an example. I kept you alive. I wanted you on my team, blah, 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 trying to smooth talk Daryl. And Daryl's like, and just takes him out. That's what needs to happen in my book. I don't want to see Daryl be buddy-buddy with Negan. I don't want to see them tolerate each other. I want Negan to be taken out by Daryl. That's for sure. I think that would be the best way to have it. If Carl can die, if Rick can die, Negan could die and needs to die. Because a lot of people think, and I'm one of these people, that the Negan storyline and the Savior storyline and that really ruined the show. Not ruined it to a level that was so terrible, but it did bring it down a bunch of notches. Season 7 to me is the worst season of the series. I just will never get over that. To me, when Season 7's on, I don't even want to watch it. I'll watch a couple things here and there, and maybe The Kingdom, and you watch Benjamin and Morgan and Shiva and stuff. But overall, Season 7 was kind of a waste. And that's the Savior Negan season. So, Jody Harris, any news on Chris Hardwick? Well, the latest news has been the news that's been going around. that he is not running the Comic-Con panel for the Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead panels. He is not moderating anything at Comic-Con. There's no other statements that have come out about him, Talking Dead, talking with Chris Hardwick, AMC, NBC, his jobs. Nothing has come out about Chris Hardwick besides the fact that 2 exes have stood up for him, his wife has stood up for him, and his mother-in-law has stood up for him. Nothing from Chloe Dykstra since then, nothing from Chris Hardwick, but what can Chris Hardwick do? He needs to stand up for himself, that's for sure, because if he doesn't, then it's going to be kind of looked like, oh, it's kind of guilty. People are going to say, oh, people are going to be on his side or be against him, but I think there's more support for Chris Hardwick, and I just think it sucks that he has to defend himself for something, and potentially, and it looks more that way, that he did nothing wrong, and now there's this stigma against him that he needs to save his name, which is a shame for that. So hopefully Chris Hardwick comes back, hopefully it all gets ironed out, and the truth comes out, whether he did anything or not. If he didn't do anything and he loses his job for all this, that's pretty terrible. It's even terrible if he did something, but either way, it's just a terrible situation for it. So, but John Wick, quick question: how do you think Rick could? I don't know what you're saying there, but don't spam the top chat or you're gonna get booted out there, John Wick. Got zero tolerance for that. I hate when people do this there too. So, but Chris Hardwick, it's a shame. I would hope that he comes back. I don't know. How do you feel about Yvette Nicole Brown being the moderator? I don't really like her too much on Talking Dead. She's a little too much, a little too animated, a little too over the top. But we have to have a moderator. She is not taking the job of Chris Hardwick maliciously. She was just given the job because they need a moderator for the panels. So the moderator for the panels needs to be somebody, and why not her? She's connected with the show for it too. So I think that Yvette Nicole Brown will do a decent job. I don't know how I feel about her running the moderation panels for the rest of the time, and how if she takes over Talking Dead. Not sure, because I like The Talking Dead. It's a show that's necessary because The Walking Dead doesn't always answer things, and that's pretty poor writing though. If you have to watch a show for the after show to see what stuff happened, I watch it for the The Walking Dead codes, the login and getting the codes for the points, and then to see stuff in memoriam and the funny stuff behind the scenes and the sneak peek for the next week's episode too. But I like The Talking Dead, and I want to see that happened for sure. So who was your favorite character? Mine was Carl there, Waylon. My favorite character on the show is Michonne. I hope Michonne sticks around for a long time, and I think she will for it too. So Tudor, Brian, you think Rick's mystery could be tied to the Marco/Ken comic part of them being kidnapped? That's the big thing going around, that people send me a lot of stuff, that Rick's whisper theory, that Rick gets captured by the Whispers. Andrew Lincoln said he's leaving. So if Andrew Lincoln is leaving, then the character will not live, right? Or will it get recast or what? I wouldn't want to see him get recast. He can't just leave. Rick Grimes can't just leave the group. He can't just leave Alexandria. He can't do that. That would be pretty nonsensical and just dumb. Could he get captured by the Whispers? Sure. Will he get captured by the Whispers? I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, because there's so many things all over the place. It's what the writers want to do with it, because this is uncharted territories. There's no spot where this happens in the comic where Rick gets captured. Kind of Rick is connected with Alpha because of Lydia and Carl and that whole dynamic. That's out the window. So this is going to be all different. The comic Whisper connection may be totally different on the show from the comic, and that's very interesting for a lot of people. A lot of people think that the Whisper sucked on the comics. I thought it was decent all the way to the conclusion of it. I thought the war was good. I thought the dynamic was there with Alpha and that, but the way it happened with Beta and towards the ending of that was pretty weak in a lot of eyes, and I agree with that. But overall, I think the Whisper story arc was pretty good. I thought it would be pretty good for the show, and I think it'll be pretty good. So, Zekon, when did Andrew say he was leaving? A while ago. It's been reported out of there. Andrew Lincoln has not ever said publicly on interviews or anything like that that I am aware of, that I have seen with my own eyes, that said he was leaving. But it's been reports that he said he's leaving. Just there's been reports like it's a 6-episode contract for Rick or Andrew Lincoln and a 6-episode contract for Lauren Cohan, who plays Maggie. That's all the word is. Is it confirmed? I'm not confirmed. I'm not sure. Is it going to happen? Maybe. Is it definitely going to happen? Only time will tell. There's nothing 100% confirmed just yet. And a lot of channels are saying it is. It's leaked and it's confirmed and it's this and it's that. A lot of my stuff is saying that this is the reports. A lot of times it's unconfirmed, so we'll see what happens. But being unconfirmed is meaning that it's a possibility. It's a high possibility, but anything can happen too. The big thing with episode 905 and the leaked script, which wasn't really leaked. It wasn't like a full page just sitting there for you to read. It was underneath another page that someone flipped, and then they changed the lighting on it. They put a filter on it so they could see behind it, and then they tried to decipher the blurriness of the page. It wasn't like AMC was like, here you go, spoiling sites, check out this leaked page. Boop, I'm just going to leave this on the table if you want to check it out. It was on someone's Instagram and something there that they tried to decipher, and maybe it was real, maybe it was fake, and it's just all over the place. And now people are like, it's been confirmed that AMC has said that Maggie's going to live and Rick's going to live and this is going to happen and that's going to happen. AMC has not come out with anything. The only thing that anything is said is that The Walking Dead Season 9 is happening. And then the Skybound, The Walking Dead Instagram and Twitter page says, don't believe everything you hear. Nice generic statement on there too. So it's one of those things that it's jumping all over the place. But as of the latest report, so let's talk about episode 905 and the latest report with that. So again, spoiler warning, if you don't want to know, stop watching and all that stuff too, especially if you're checking on the replay. In episode 905, it looks to be from the filming schedule, the filming spot, the filming locations, and the video and some pictures, that there's a herd that is involved at a cemetery with Rick, Michonne, possibly Maggie, possibly Carol, possibly Daryl, maybe Magna, maybe that's it. But the herd could be involved. Then people have said that Rick Grimes dies in that episode. Something to do with the herd. And then people were like, oh, he's dead in 905. Then Andrew Lincoln went away. He flew to New York, then Connecticut, back to New York, back home to London. So he's in London as far as I know. And if he's in London, he's not filming. And if he's not filming, there's a reason. He's on a major break before Comic-Con, or he's done filming. But if it's a 6-episode contract, maybe he filmed the first 5 episodes. So it was episodes 901 to 905. And then he filmed one more episode maybe later in the season as a flashback, flash thing like that too. So what if he's captured, right? So if say he films the first 5 episodes and then Rick gets captured. What's going to happen? He's got one more episode, theoretically, if it's a 6-episode thing. He just gets captured and he's there captured forever. He gets killed. He gets taken out. He leaves. So we don't know. So yeah, exactly, Janet. Dumpstergate, Dumpster 2.0. So if you remember back in season 6, Glenn and Nicholas were running down the street and I've actually seen this filming site in person. I was right there and I've been where the dumpster was and I got pictures of stuff there. Pretty cool stuff that Glenn and Nicholas go on top of a dumpster. They have nowhere to turn. They're surrounded by walkers and fencing. They have nowhere to go. Nicholas shoots himself, takes himself out. Glenn and Nicholas fall off the dumpster. Nicholas's dead body falls on top of Glenn. The walkers devour Nicholas, and we're watching this, and Glenn's screaming in pain, fear, something, and then he leaves. And then he leaves. Then the episode ends, basically. And then we don't find out the fate of Glenn. I want to say 3 episodes later. It's definitely at least 2 episodes later. So we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and then we find out. And Glenn got under the dumpster, killed the walkers, came out, met Enid. They went back to Alexandria, kind of got saved and all that stuff. So we were there wondering if Glenn died, because it's crazy. Could that happen with Rick? What if it's like a grave or something? What if Rick is there and there's an open grave and some caskets and he's surrounded by walkers and there's a herd and he gets basically swarmed like in season it's 8, right? With Michonne and Rick, and they go to the carnival festival thing, and Michonne thinks she sees Rick getting devoured by walkers with the bad CGI deer, and that could be what happens, something like that in season 9, episode 905, where the walkers kind of swarm Rick, and they're not sure if Rick goes under or not, but there's a grave there, or there's a casket there, and Rick somehow gets into the grave or gets into the casket, and he's safe, just kind of like the dumpster. So that's just kind of a theory, Dumpstergate 2.0. We'll see how it happens, but that's just an idea. Because there's a lot of miscommunication, conflicting reports about episode 905 right now. That Rick supposedly dies, and now there's conflicting reports that he may not die now. So maybe they sent out some feelers to see how quick it spread by AMC, and AMC got us. They're misleading us. They're duping us. They're trolling us on there. So we could see it. So what happens, I don't know. I'm excited, guys. I want to know. We all want to know. Pretty cool stuff. So that's crazy. All right, Tudor, let's see. You think that herd could be tied up to the Saviors not warning Rick, and then Negan taking the lead again, leaving Daryl to kill Negan? Yeah, that's kind of crazy. You could think, because there's going to be a Savior-Rick Alexandria conflict early on in season 9 for sure. The Saviors aren't going anywhere. They're going to be involved. They're not jumping in on the Rick Grimes train. They're going to be Negan still. Rick supposedly takes their weapons and has to fend for themselves, and it's kind of interesting to see the Negan Savior Alexandria dynamic if that comes back around for sure. So I believe Jadis Ann will free Negan, but I don't think she'll be on his team. What do you think? I don't know. That's the thing that I thought about too, that Ann could free Negan because of their previous connection at the junkyard scavenger dump, because it makes sense where Ann and Negan are connected, where does Ann owe Negan anything? Maybe, maybe not. Does Negan feel like Ann? Because who would let Negan out? It's not going to be Daryl. Well, Daryl's going to be at Hilltop for a little bit. It's not going to be Michonne. It's not going to be Rick. Is it going to be Judith? Is it going to be, how are they going to do this too? Who's going to take him out? Who's going to do this? It's just a lot of questions to say. But I could see Ann or somebody like that. Like, what would be the point of who's going to let him out to escape? Not for chores or work or bathing or food or whatever on there, but actually let him out too. So. Altered 2-bit. Do you think the helicopter is connected to Georgie? And if so, do you think Georgie is Commonwealth? I don't know. We don't know. I think Georgie could be connected with the helicopter, but let me ask you guys, have we seen a helicopter with the Commonwealth? Has the Commonwealth ever had anything like that? I don't think so from the comics. And for those who don't know, the Commonwealth is the latest storyline of the comics. And so you're just going to jump over the Whispers? Because if you go to the Commonwealth, you're jumping right over the Whispers. That doesn't make sense to me. But I don't know if Georgie is just connecting the idea of them making silos and building for the future and rebuilding civilization. I think that's what Georgie is connected with. I don't know if she's connected with the Commonwealth or not, because if you know the comics, you know the Commonwealth, something shady's going down there too, with Pamela Milton and there, and it's just not right. I don't want to see that come to the show till after the Whisper dynamic. I would love for the show to end with a Whisper war and then take a long break and then pick up right with the Commonwealth, maybe with some new people in there. That would be kind of cool. Take a break, come back around, get all these lawsuits and stuff out of the way. I think it makes sense that they need to do that and come back maybe in a year, 2 or 3 or something there too. So, yeah, Ronnie, I don't know. Dumpstergate is just a theory. It's just a dynamic. It's a discussion. It's something fun to talk about. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of channels all over the place that are talking about a lot of stuff. So it's just a fun dynamic to have in discussion. again, these are all discussions, a fun thing to talk about. Walking Dead community, Walking Dead family, just like all you guys joining me today, this Sunday, July 8th. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let me see. Chazzer Wilco. Yeah, read my comment. Okay, so your favorite season and one character, favorite season 2. So you're just asking me all my favorite season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll tell you, my favorite character is Michonne, and my favorite season is season 6. I'm not going to rank and do all that stuff on there too. I'm not going to say, oh, I liked Rick early on, and I like that, and I like this. It's just Michonne, when she came around, not cool in there too. Got you there. So what you guys got going on? Bri, why couldn't Carl, where was that? Sorry. I got it. Sorry, just jumped on me here. This top chat kind of jumped up on there too. So what you got? Any news on season 5 for Fear? Boy, great question. Nothing yet. We still got to have season 4B coming out with the Walker tornado or hurricane or something that comes flying around for them. We'll see what happens with the storm. It's going to be annoying that Charlie's still alive and Morgan looks to be the new lead now, but we'll see. We'll have the Comic-Con panel too. It's going to be the Walking Dead panel and the Fear the Walking Dead panel as well. So that'll be July 20th. So in 12 days, guys, we will be excited for it. How big would the time jump be? Vicky asks. That's a good question. Some people are like, it's 2 years confirmed. Angela Kang confirmed it. I've heard reports that it's from 6 months to 2 years. I don't think it's going to be any longer than 2 years. Either way, it's going to be a big thing for the time jump, as Maggie's going to already have had her baby. People are going to be a little bit older. There's going to be a bunch of crops and products and stuff around, and new buildings and silos and windmills and stuff are going to be building and built and just there. They're going to be done. They've been done a lot of things. Alexandria is going to look very different, and so will Hilltop. LJP, your channel rocks, man. P.S. My sister got married yesterday. Well, congratulations to your sister. Wish them all the best. And yes, my channel does rock. No, thank you. Thank you for the support. I'm just joking around. Thank you very much. I appreciate that for it, guys. So Jody, thank you for the support on there. So I'm going to go for about another half hour, guys, and then I got to get ready, and then I got to go see Ant-Man 2 and the Wasp. For those interested in my book series, Fight for Us, Weaponize, is out now on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and Kindle version. So this is the paperback version of it. This is book 7. I've already started preliminary early draft, rough drafts of my book 8, which will be titled Legacy. So I'm excited for all that for you guys to continue with that storyline in there for sure. But yeah, book 7 is going strong now. It's been available now for, I don't know, 6 days or so, about a week now. Appreciate the support for you guys there. If you love the zombie apocalypse genre, if you love Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, Zombie Land, all that good stuff, you're going to like the book series, that's for sure. It's a book series, so it's not a television show or anything like that, even though that would be awesome to be down the road. I would love for that to happen. Clay, great question. Is Dwight coming back? That's one of the main people from the last season and the previous 2 seasons that haven't heard much about. Haven't seen him on set. Haven't really seen him now. That Dwight, I haven't heard anything about him. Now, does that mean he's not going to be there? Doubt it. I think he's going to be around. I think he's going to be connected with the Whispers because of the Infinity Sign, Sherry's note, Alpha. I think it makes sense that he goes to the Whispers and finds Sherry there. And we might not see him to the second half of season 9 or towards the mid-season finale, mid-season premiere of it. So I think that we'll see him at earliest, episode 6, maybe 7 or 8, but more likely in the second half of season 9, we'll start to see him more and more involved where too. But again, the big line when Daryl said to him, "Don't show your face around here or I'll kill you," is what Daryl said to Dwight in the season 8 finale. Well, if he comes around and he looks like a Whisper, he's technically not showing his face, right? Is that a hint? Is that a thought? What do you think, guys? I think it makes sense. I think Dwight comes back around with the Whispers. That'd be a nice little twist. Little different comic connection. I think we'll start to see them for sure. So, me too, Janet. I'm very excited for the Walking Dead trailer. Last year's trailer was okay. It had weird music and Daryl on motorcycles and explosions and this, and then the quick showing of all the people's faces and everything, and it was okay. The previous trailer was awesome with Shiva roaring and that. I thought it was great, but the Comic-Con trailer is such a hype connection train for the season, man. I'm excited for it. 12 days away. I would assume it's going to be there on July 20th when they have the panel. Pretty cool stuff. I'm not going to go there. I will be here in Florida getting ready for it, breaking it down, watching it, doing a breakdown for sure. It's one of those awesome things. I love filming season 2. I love the season right now that's going on. And if you're staying up on the day on the spoiler sites, I believe that The Walking Dead filming of season 9 is on episode 6 right now. They think they started a week ago at the end of last week, if not the end of June, that they started filming episode 6. So I would think that they're going to be before Comic-Con. They'll just be starting or towards some part of episode 7. So we could see potentially episode 1 through 6 or 7 in the trailer, parts of it, jumping around a little bit. So that could give us a lot of information, and that's cool stuff for it. Because remember, they film from end of April, early May, all the way to the middle part of November. And I'm always excited for what could happen, what could be, and what will happen, because we just don't know for sure. Ronnie, great question. Do you watch Game of Thrones? I would love for you to talk about a show. Yeah, I love Game of Thrones. I watch it. I've seen every episode. I can't wait for the final season to come back. I'm getting that it's going to be April-ish, May-ish, maybe 2019. Hopefully it's not too long, because I'm excited for, April or May 2019 for the final season of Game of Thrones. I know that a lot of people are. It's going to suck that it's the final season, but I think it makes sense. So, yeah, they could be a little behind schedule, Clay, because of the bad weather and everything there too. But they started filming a little early. I think they started filming a week early or so, which makes sense that they could be right around on schedule or not, because I know they take some time off right after Comic-Con too. So I know that that's kind of planned for it. So they'll have a week off or 10 days or something, a week or two for that. So I think they'll be okay with the schedule wise. I know that's good too. M. King, my thoughts about LeBron going to the Lakers. If he wanted to win a championship, he should have went to the Rockets, because that's the only team that I thought could really challenge the Warriors. But the Lakers are cool. Showtime, Lakers coming back. I mean, I don't know if he's going to win much there. I'm not a LeBron fan, but LeBron to the Lakers is good for the NBA. It's good for the West Coast. They play the Warriors a little more often, so we'll get to see that a little bit. But I don't think he's going to win a championship there, at least not this year. So we'll see what happens down the road. But I'm excited. I've been watching the World Cup, which turns out to be basically the Euro Cup, because there's so many Euro teams in it. I'm rooting for Belgium and England to play each other in the finals, and then I'd be happy with either team to win that, because the teams that are left, France, Belgium, Croatia, and England, I don't mind if any of them win, because there's somebody new. It's kind of cool to see. And, soccer is one of my favorite sports to watch, so I just want some good soccer to watch, that's for sure, too. So, William Walker, Brian, I've been giving you a little thought lately, but how do you think Negan's story is going to evolve, say if Rick is gone? Thank you. Thank you, William Walker. William Walker? No, Walker William. I think that it's what the writers want to do with Negan. So say Rick dies in episode 905, and we get to see him down the road as a flashback or something. So say if Rick leaves, if it's 905 or down the road. What's going to drive people to watch the show? Negan is just kind of all over the place. He's too much like, do I like him? Do I hate him? Do I not like him? He's got some funny one-liners, but if he doesn't have anyone to have those one-liners with, it's just kind of dumb. I don't want to see him with Daryl being buddy or coexisting. I want to see him go away. I hope his actual evolvement and evolution is that he's there, he tries to help out, Daryl ain't having it, and because The show, to me, is more of a Daryl Dixon show than a Negan show by any day of the week. If it's not the Rick show, it's the Daryl Dixon show, right? I mean, I would want Daryl to succeed over Negan because Daryl's been there from the beginning. Whether you like Daryl or not, and he's not a leader, he's like that, give him a chance. See what he can do. And if you don't think Daryl can lead, check out season 4 and let me know your thoughts. But I think he has a better chance to draw people in and be entertaining with it. But I would want to see Negan versus Daryl at some point, and eventually Daryl win is what I would want to see. Yeah, Jacking Bowl, great name. I hope Gregory dies in season 9. They wrote, it's going to happen. We'll see what happens when it is, if it's episode 1, episode 2. But Gregory, that needs to go for sure. Gregory is just terrible, right? We need to get rid of these terrible characters. Jared, just a lot of the saviors. A lot of people connected with the saviors too. Davey was terrible. It was just a rat. I'm not a big fan of a rat. Regina's okay. But we'll see what happens. There's going to be some annoying saviors going to be sticking around probably the rest of the series, which to me brings it down on there too. So we'll see. But I'm excited for it, guys. I know everyone in this group, in this channel, in this page, hopefully you guys are subscribers. If not, definitely join us every day. Hit that subscribe button and get that bell so you don't miss out. Everyone's going to be watching season 9 and then beyond whenever it is there too. But season 9 has the potential to be a very good season. It's going to be a memorable season if the rumors are true, what happens. But I think it makes sense for it too. Great question. Do you think Daniel Salazar will show up in 4B or early season 5? The word is that he's supposed to be in season 4. The writers, the producers, these people said that Daniel Salazar will be around. We will see him again, is what the word I got. So we'll see what happens, if he happens on a video camera, videotape, or in person. But I hope Daniel comes back. I hope Walker comes back, and I hope Proctor John comes back. I think that would make the most sense and connect the series with season 4. Season 4 is its own show, basically. It's its own reboot. And it's kind of annoying that Fear the Walking Dead has no connection with the previous seasons really at all. The people that were there are dying off. The people that are there are new. Look at all the new people. Morgan, Althea, John, June, whatever her name is, Charlie, Mel, Ennis. Like, come on. What happened to Nick and Alicia and Strand and Daniel and Walker and Madison? Yeah, even though Madison was terrible, it was kind of like it just should have been done in a better way. That better not happen to Rick Grimes is my only thing that my fear is that we're going to get a Nick or Madison type death for Rick Grimes, who is the face, the man. When you think The Walking Dead, you think Rick Grimes. He needs an epic death, an epic going out, leaving needs to be done in a way that's like, man, I'm never going to forget that. Remember what happened with Rick? You don't want it to be so not memorable and just wasted time that it's like, come on, it just doesn't make sense that the character should not have an epic goodbye, an epic farewell. Do you think we'll see a lot of Oceanside in season 9? Finnaface, great name. I think that we will potentially see some Oceansiders early on, like Cindy, especially in the first episode. If you saw the pictures going around, you saw Cindy there. Oceanside should and needs to be a part of the show going forward. I think it's a good connection with it. It makes sense. Oceanside sticking around, I like that idea for sure. Do you think character John on Fear? Your thoughts? Do you like the character? I like John. I think John's my favorite character on the show as of now. I used to like Daniel Salazar, and I still do. Hopefully he comes around. I like John. Morgan's okay, but to me, Morgan's a Walking Dead character. He's not a Fear the Walking Dead character. He just transitioned over there too. What do you think is the best way for the series to end? That's a great question. I think the best way for the series to end is to leave it open-ended so that they can always come back to it. Because someone asked Gimple or Kirkman or somebody about The Walking Dead and the series as a whole, and they brought up Star Trek. And Star Trek has been going on since, I don't know, 60s, 70s. And it's still somewhat relevant today. You have Captain Kirk, and you have Captain Picard, and then these other captains, and then they had movies. So they had a series, a break, another series, movies, break. Now they have a series now that Sonequa Martin Green's on, and then they have that. The Walking Dead can have that same exact idea, portrayal, kind of concept, where it's there for a while, goes away, comes back, and we have a new leader, a new thing, a new situation, brings back. Because if they can recoup any number of what they had in success years of seasons 4, 5, 6, the height of The Walking Dead was so big that you can't just give up on it. So if Andrew Lincoln wants to leave, he can leave. Maybe they recast Rick and they recast everybody at some point down the road for movies or other shows, or maybe they have whole different characters altogether. Maybe at some point, because Kirkman's not going to stop making comics. His baby is the comics. Walking Dead is going nowhere in the comic realm. Maybe we get a movie. I would like to see, personally myself, spin-offs. The Hilltop Show, The Kingdom Show, The Sanctuary Show, Alexandria, stuff like that for a little bit. I want to see that happen. I would like to see, what if you saw Sherry? What if you saw Jerry and Ezekiel and the Kingdom and stuff before all that? And Benjamin, like I watched season 7 when it was the Carol stuff on TV, and they talk about Benjamin and Benjamin's father. That's kind of interesting to me. Benjamin's dad was killed by the Saviors, and Ezekiel and Shiva and stuff on there. That would be pretty cool. I would like to see stuff like that. Also, Greg Nicotero wouldn't mind doing a web series or webisodes or something where he would want to introduce cold to the walkers and winter elements, freezing, snow. Makes sense, right? I know a lot of people want to see that. I'm one of those people. Jonathan Lloyd, what did you think of issue 181? It was pretty good. Good setup for where the Commonwealth and Rick and Dwight and everything is going. If you haven't read it, I don't want to give too much away from it. It's kind of a nice connection with the Commonwealth still and Rick. But we're going, I see the comic covers with Pamela Milton and the Saviors and Michonne and stuff going forward. So there's a lot more story there going forward. Pretty cool stuff. So I think it's pretty cool that The Walking Dead is what it is. It's a show. It's a zombie show that almost didn't happen. And a lot of people are telling me that I'm done with the show when Rick dies. I'm not watching anymore if this happens and if that happens. And you're free to do that. And you can do that. But what are you going to do when the show's off the air? What are you going to complain about then? Because The Walking Dead is one of those things that people love. People love to hate it. People love to put it down. Love it's there. And if that's not there anymore, what are people going to do? The Walking Dead is a big thing for a lot of people. And it's a great show for what it is. It's a niche zombie horror show. It's come a long way. Back in the day, it had a hard time getting on television. NBC turned it down. HBO turned it down. And AMC was the only one to take it under its wing. So we should be thankful for that. I think it makes sense. When is the Comic-Con for The Walking Dead? AFG Gamer Dogs, that is in 12 days. July 20th is The Walking Dead San Diego Comic-Con panel, July 20th. I'm excited for it too. So I'm excited. I wish I could be there for it, but Boyd, I don't know. Breaking Bad is pretty awesome. It was only 5 seasons, which The Walking Dead might be double that. And we might get 10 seasons of The Walking Dead, which we kind of should, which is kind of crazy to think that we're going to get 10 seasons of a zombie show. That's just one of those things that might not have ever been thought of down the road previously on there too. So I'm kind of upset about Comic Book Men being taken off the air. Anybody watch that show? I'm originally from New Jersey, and that's where the comic book store is. I've actually been there, and I've met Walt Flanagan. My wife and I, we went to the store with my dad, and it was cool. And now the show, I used to watch it on TV, and it was just a terrible time slot. It was on like 1 in the morning or something. And who can watch that? But Kevin Smith is trying to shop the show around to other networks, and I'm hoping it gets picked up, because it was kind of cool to watch The Walking Dead, Talking Dead, and then it was a rerun of The Walking Dead, and then Comic Book Men was on. I also liked the other show that was on a couple summers ago. It was called Geeking Out with Kevin Smith on AMC. I thought it was pretty cool. I like that. I like the idea of having some guests, celebrity guests on there too. And it just was good information, and it was just fun stuff. It was kind of like a good educational show about what's going on in the world of technology and movies and shows and television and stuff on there too for cool. So, no, Allie, Breaking Bad is not coming back for season 6. I think Breaking Bad is done. Even though I really do like Better Call Saul, that is coming back August 6th for season 4. I think that's pretty cool. I would love to see Saul kind of meet up with Walter White and Jesse. I think that would be pretty cool. That would be a nice little connection. If you like Breaking Bad, definitely check out Better Call Saul. They got 3 seasons on Netflix. The 3rd season is by far the best season, and season 4 comes out in August. So I'm excited for that. A lot of big things are happening around here in the the world of myself. I got my book series going strong. I started writing book 8 and going with that. I'm trying to get some artists on board for the Comic Connection art, even if it's just artwork for it. So I've been dealing with some people there. I'm going to Walker Stalker Atlanta in October. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. And I'm excited to check out Sonoy on the way from Florida into Georgia. We did that before, and we got to see that again. So I'm excited to do all those things. Yeah, guys, so I'm going to go for another 10 minutes. Ask your questions away. I got a lot of good things coming up for the channel, for the stuff here. My book series, I'm going to make an updated video for that. I've been trying to make an intro and stuff for a potential show and all that stuff going around. I'm excited for it. I'm excited about the latest book, and I'm even more excited for the future of the series, because every day I write stuff in my notebook, and I write and I write and I write, and I put stuff down on paper, and I'm just ready to get it typing. And I've already started writing book 8, and I was like, I'm going to take some time, take a break, but I get excited about my book series. And thank you, Carol. I appreciate that. The books are great. I'm excited for them. I'm wanting to get it under control where the edit and everything is better and better and better and better. So I'm taking more time. So that's why I started book 8, to start the process and write it up and then edit it and then have my wife read it and edit it, and then I'll edit it again. And then by that time, it should be out by November, early November for sure. But yeah, I'll be at Walker Stalker Atlanta. Hopefully I can meet some of you guys there too. It's been kind of tough in the previous times to meet everybody, because I go to the panels and do there and stuff, and the cell service and phone service has been pretty terrible. But I've had a chance to meet some of you guys, and it's been fun, and it's always been a good time. And I've always been thankful to meet people in person. I can sign some of your books and just be there and interact with you and enjoy the convention as well too. So Waylon, what is your personal opinion on Rick leaving? I will still watch with the show. So I'm going to watch to the very, 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 very end, and then I'll watch some of the reruns. But Rick Grimes leaving is going to hurt the show, just like Carl Grimes leaving hurt the show. And when major characters leave, it's not good for the show, but it has to happen in their eyes. The writers have said that everyone can die. No one is immune. It's not this person's show. And I said that in a video, and people were like, I disagree with you. And first of all, I agree with people who think that Rick Grimes is the face of The Walking Dead. It makes sense to me that people think that Rick Grimes is the face of it there too. So I think that Rick leaving it's going to hurt the show. Is it going to be the straw that broke the camel's back? Maybe. And it's not going to help it, that's for sure. But I'm still going to watch for sure. Yeah, Carol, I hope to meet you this year at Walker Stalker Atlanta. I'll be there with my wife and my father again. I would definitely be looking for you. And if you have the books, I will definitely sign them for you. We'll definitely get together. I know they have that big area for food now, the food court kind of thing, and I met a couple people there last year, so that might be a little easier to do at a certain time for that, because sometimes in the conventions, the panels, it's a little tough to get around. But I'll definitely try to meet you guys there for sure. So Yeah, Boyd. I mean, I understand that you have to kill certain characters, and in my book series, certain people are going to die, and everyone's pretty much got a good shot to die in that world of the zombie apocalypse because everyone's not immune. Everyone can happen, but you want to go out in the right way. I think it makes sense that Rick dies in an epic way, and it needs to happen in an epic way. They don't, AMC and The Walking Dead don't want the show to go away just because Andrew Lincoln was like, I'm going to leave. And there's been reports that, definitely came out that after Carl was getting killed off, that Andrew Lincoln wanted to leave. Is that the is that the reason why? Carl's death, did that cause Andrew Lincoln to want to leave? It didn't help the situation. So either way, it's not a good thing for it that it's going to be a good thing for Rick to go. But so Proque, I'm confused. I missed the new spoilers. So Rick going to die or just leave or might come back? The initial word is that Rick dies in episode 905, but the same sources come out that it's conflicting reports. So we'll see if Rick actually dies or not. He could survive and then die anyway, kind of like Glenn did. So again, I equate that to like Dumpster Gate. That's kind of what I think is kind of the thing that's been playing on here too. Do you think the tapes that Althea has of Abraham and Eugene will ever be seen again and maybe watched by another character? I hope so, Janet. I hope we probably won't see Abraham and Eugene on the camera, but we could see them. We could see the character watching them. And I hope it's Morgan. I hope Morgan watches the video and we just hear Abraham and Eugene talking, and that drives Morgan to maybe go back to Walking Dead or what. But I think Morgan watching the tapes makes the most sense. Brian, will they film episode 7 and 8 after or before San Diego Comic-Con? Just asking to know if Andy could come back. I think before Comic-Con, they would be at episode 7. After Comic-Con would be episode 8. Because Comic-Con is in 12 days. They only film Monday through Friday typically. Sometimes it's weekend shoots if they have to, but that's overtime for the people that don't do that. They film Monday through Friday. So the last time I checked, they were filming episode 6. They might just be starting episode 7, which will be tomorrow or this week. So the week of July 9th, this week could start episode 7. Then you have, because they're not going to film that Friday for Comic-Con panel. They're probably not going to film Thursday because they have to travel. Maybe they film Wednesday before Comic-Con, so they had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I doubt they would start episode 8 till after Comic-Con. But we have to have Andy Lincoln locked down where he's going to be. Regardless if it's episode 7 or 8 or 9 or whatever, if he comes back to Atlanta, people are going to get pictures of him. If he's flying back to the Atlanta airport, people should get pictures of him. If he's at Heathrow flying somewhere, because he could fly from London to New York and New York to San Diego and be there just for Comic-Con and then go back home. But what if he's back in Atlanta and he stays there and they film episode 8 and he's still there? He stays with the group, private jet style, all that stuff. So we'll see. It'll be very telling around Comic-Con and after where Rick Grimes is, because if he's in Atlanta, then there's a high probability that he's filming. If he's not, then we know what that means. When does the new season start, Kieran? It comes on television the middle to the end of October. I'm guessing that it's October 14th or the 21st is when, my best guess is that when we'll get the first episode 901 for it too. So I hope that Judith, great question, what happens to baby Judith? I think Michonne takes over as the surrogate mother because Judith loves Michonne. And also, not sure, just going to have a single parent there then. I know Judith, I don't know what's going to happen with Judith and the future of that. There's so many what if questions, guys. But I'm excited to find out. I think season 9 should be awesome for it, guys. So let me do a couple more questions here. And then we'll call it a day for it there, too. So then we'll call it a Sunday. No, Rick will do a new spinoff called Fight for Us. Yeah, exactly, Walker. And that'd be awesome. We'll have Rick Grimes on, Andrew Lincoln on Fight for Us. Even though I like Andy Lincoln, but I would have a different people. I have different people on my eyes who I would cast as the characters, the actors for my characters in the book series. That's for sure. Even though I love Andrew Lincoln, he would not be on the show. Brian, how will the show go on without Rick? It's going to be different. I think that Rick will, like Carl, will be gone but not forgotten. And Rick's going to be huge there too. The everlasting effect of Rick and Carl and everybody there will be there for always and forever. Could Negan's head get put on a puke? You mean Pike? Yeah, boy, Pike. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know if we're going to see that. Because if we do, not sure who's going to be on there. If it's Ezekiel or someone else, could be Tara, could be Rosita, could be Jerry, could be someone. What if it's Henry or something? That'd be crazy, right? Could happen. But that might also be too gory, too much, you know, because they're like, we need the gore, it's too much. But then they tone it down a little bit after the Negan effect. So, kind of crazy for it too. Let me answer a couple of these questions, and then my hour is definitely up. But I appreciate you guys joining me this Sunday, July 8th. We'll have one next Sunday, and for the next foreseeable Sundays, I'll let you know if I haven't, but I'm back on here on the PT channel. We'll be doing, you know, a bunch of videos for both channels, but the PT channel is my baby here too. So, Carrie, why is nobody talking about Maggie will die? How Maggie will die? Because there's been no reports of that. The last time we've seen that is that Maggie is supposedly there with Michonne in episode 905. So I think Maggie is okay. Hey, One-Eyed Bride, love your work. What do you think? Rick leaving the helicopter, and that's how the Commonwealth is introduced. I just don't like the idea of Rick leaving. Why would Rick leave his troops, his friends, his family, his baby, his Michonne, his Rashonne? That can't happen. Rick can't just leave. Come on now. What do you think about Daryl helping Maggie with the baby and then keeping it to raise if Maggie dies? That's tough. I don't know. I don't really see Daryl being a caregiver like that, a babysitter, a person like that. I don't know. I don't know if Daryl's ever going to get a loved one or a love interest. We need Daryl to have like a dog first. Let's see if he can take care of that, let alone a baby for sure. So, and what you got on there? Do you think Michonne will be pregnant and have Rick's baby? Great question. I don't know. If it happens, I hope Michonne would be pregnant at the end of the season, and then Rick dies, and then Michonne looks at a pregnancy test, and she's pregnant. And we're like, oh, God. End of season. Fiend. So I think that would make sense for it, guys. So I'm going to have to call it there. I think you guys are awesome. I appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for joining me this live stream on the PT channel. You guys are awesome. I truly mean that with every way possible. Definitely check out one last time. Get the plug for the book series. You can see it behind me. The art there. Book series, Weaponize, going strong. Yeah. So, Weaponize, Amazon.com, Kindle versions, paperback versions, all that good stuff. Thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. And I got to give my motivation, words of wisdom that I truly believe. With hard work, dedication, and sacrifice, guys, you can achieve your goals no matter what they are. Never give up on there. I truly believe that. It's hard work. It's going to take effort, but you can do it. Don't give up. Just take a break, take a rest, reevaluate, and do it. Believe in yourself. Never give up on your goals and aspirations. But if you can dream it, you can do it. Thanks, guys.